Who's your favorite pitmaster's favorite pitmaster?
Hey, what's going on, Tremendous Q fans? It's your boy here, Wade Morris, owner of Pitmaster Tremendous Q, and today I'm back with another dope video for you guys, alright? Now, this one I actually found digging through some of my archives, alright? Now, it's a video from when I first started my YouTube channel, some content from when I first started my YouTube channel, and it was filmed when we were still living in Tampa. Well, we're in Belgium now, but I saw it and I was like, oh man, that was a really fun cook. It was a really good turnout. All right, I actually think I cooked this when my mom was there. Mom, you're gonna have to let me know in the comment section down below if you remember this. All right, yeah, but before we jump into that, you know, I gotta thank everybody for stopping by. So whether you tripped over the channel or you found it intentionally, thank you guys for stopping by. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button, cut on those notifications so you can get notified when I drop all my latest content. All right, and for all my returning subscribers, you know I appreciate you guys' support. Okay, so today we're cooking up a frittata. All right, it is breakfast food. This is good soul food. This is we'll call it good hangover food too, all right? Because it's got some grease to sop up some of that extra alcohol, all right? We got cheese, eggs, onions, spinach, and that's for the missus. You know, I don't mess with the greenery, but yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the video, okay? You guys leave a comment in the section down below. Let me know what you think and let me know if you've tried this before, all right? Let's jump right into the video.
Start with our ingredients. We got some Gouda cheese, pepper jack, monster cheese, Hawaiian sea salt, white pepper flakes, mini sweet peppers, baby spinach for the wife, some sausage, bacon, and mushrooms, all right? We're gonna go ahead and get all this stuff prepped up. I definitely recommend doing the prep for everything, and I do mean everything, before you get started, because once you get going on the grill, there's kind of no turning back. You'll have a little bit of a break in between cooking the meat and then throwing all your veggies and cheeses on there. But once you once you put the veggies on the grill, you are pretty much committed, all right? So with all of these, we're gonna dice them up pretty fine. Here's the deal with a frittata. It's definitely a personal preference thing, but I don't like biting into eggs or omelet and getting a huge chunk of anything, whether it's meat, cheese, peppers, onions, etc., etc. So we're gonna dice these all pretty fine, okay? Now, speaking of dice it fine, one recommendation: if you are using mustard cheese, make sure that stuff stays pretty cold. Not frozen, but definitely cold, because that stuff was very hard to get off of the wax as I was getting it prepped, okay? So if you keep that cold, but not frozen, it'll be a lot easier to work with in terms of dicing up and slicing, etc., etc. So once I got it off the wax paper, I was so frustrated, I pretty much just put it in one big ball and it was all going in at one time, all right? Now, we're gonna finish up with the baby spinach and the onions. We had to throw some greens in there. That was definitely courtesy of the missus, because yeah, outside of the peppers, I pretty much don't do anything with veggies. Okay, so we'll get the we'll move over to the eggs. All right, basically just eyeballing the amount of eggs based on the skillet that I'm using. I'm using a 12-inch skillet for this cook. Okay, and we're add the eggs, some homemade spicy salt rub, and some white pepper. All right. We had this crushed up in the beginning. I went to the little grinding stone and I crushed that up, and we're gonna throw those in the eggs. All right. Now we got the meat on the grill. Okay, heading over to the grill. We got the sausage on the grill. We're gonna do the sausage. Okay, and then the sausage is gonna come off. We're gonna set that on a cutting board, and then we are going to put the bacon on the grill. All right. Now once you get these two done, you're gonna want to remember one important thing, and that's you're going to want to leave the bacon and the sausage grease inside the iron skillet. Okay, now we're not going to give ourselves a heart attack, all right? We're not going to eat all of that grease, I promise, but you're going to want to save that grease so that you can cook your veggies in it instead of adding a whole bunch of butter. Either way, you need fat so that the stuff doesn't stick to the bottom of the skillet. We're cooking over charcoal. We got a lot of heat. These iron skillets really retain heat, so you want to make sure you have some fat in the bottom of that skillet to make sure that your veggies and your cheese don't stick. Okay, so there's the leftover fat. I'm going to go ahead and move this over the coals and get our veggies added. Now, onions, spinach, peppers. I'm throwing them all in at the same time, and these are gonna cook for roughly 7 to 8 minutes. I didn't test or attempt the grill, and this was a while ago, but I'm pretty sure I was cooking at roughly 400, probably 450 degrees, just knowing about how hot these coals normally burn when I have the lid completely open. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and add our meat in, and we're just going to let everything cook and mix together, let those spices and the seasonings and all the different ingredients just kind of blend together. And then we're going to add in our cheese. Now, the cheese, it doesn't matter what order you add it in, all right? What's important is that you want to put it in right before you put the eggs in, because cheese burns, and it burns fast, okay? Now that we got the cheese in there, we're actually and the cheese is melting. You're actually going to see a lot of the fat start to increase. So now it's time to get rid of some of that, because like I said before, we're not making a heart attack dish, okay? This is a regular frittata, and I kind of want to be around to tell you guys about it. So we're going to drain a lot of the fat from the meat, the sausage, the bacon, and then from the cheese once it was put in there. And then we're going to go ahead and add our eggs, all right? And you're going to notice you're still going to get some grease that is dripping out or coming out of the cheese as it's cooking. And same thing with the meat. So don't worry about not having enough in the bottom of the pan in terms of sticking, etc., etc. If you want to keep a little bit more, by all means, you are more than welcome to. Okay. And another tip, now while we actually got this thing sitting down on the cutting board, and I got to zoom in of the grease, make sure you put your coals on one side of your grill. That way, if you start to get a little too hot during the cook process, you can move the frittata off and kind of save the bottom of the dish, okay? So we got it inside, we let it cool off for a couple of minutes. Now we're gonna drain some of that excess grease off the top and along the sides. Again, I've eaten heart attack dishes before, and with breakfast. This is why I say this is like a really good hangover food, because you saw all of that grease, it just sops all of that stuff up. All right, so we're gonna cut this like a regular pie now. All right, if you guys have made it this far in the video, all right, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and cut on those notifications. I appreciate you guys' support. All right, let's get this first piece out and see what it looks like. All right, now I'll be honest with you guys, as I went around and and took out the rest of the frittata, some of the frittata towards the camera, the side closer towards the camera, that actually did start to burn a little bit. So maybe you want to keep a little bit more grease in there. But again, it's personal preference. The top of the frittata, the overall frittata, still turned out great. Okay, so we're gonna add a little dash of mozzarella on top for aesthetics, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and dig in. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you in the next video here in the Frittatta. All right, peace.